Hi, I'm Guy Desharnais, Vice President of Project Evaluations with Osisko Gold Royalties. I'm a geologist by training who has worked in exploration and as a resource estimation consultant. I'm a member of the Mining Technical Advisory and Monitoring Committee for the Canadian Securities Commissions. My career has been focused on sorting through a great number of mineral projects to evaluate and select the few that are likely to become economic mines. At Osisko, we are fortunate to have a very deep portfolio of royalty and streaming assets, including 20 producing mines. Our CEO and marketing team spend a fair bit of time, as one would expect, discussing these producing assets, as well as the next set of development projects with stakeholders, which include Windfall, Caribou, Upper Beaver, and the like. But there are many positive catalysts taking shape on the rest of the portfolio, and I'd like to take the time to highlight some of those who don't always get the airtime they deserve. In doing so, I will only be able to scratch the surface and urge interested stakeholders to review our recently published inaugural Asset Handbook. This document is packed with useful information about our assets, their recent advancements, and future catalysts. Our portfolio benefits from several active multi-million ounce projects in Canada and the United States. Osisko's strategic investments into these jurisdictions during the last market downturn should create significant value for our shareholders as these assets advance towards production. As mineral reserves progressively deplete within the major and mid-tier gold mining companies, these projects have a high likelihood of being acquired by larger, better capitalized companies to fuel their growth. Western Copper and Gold has reinvigorated the Casino project in the Yukon following the strategic investment from Rio Tinto. This project is a generational asset containing 7.5 billion pounds of copper and 14.5 million ounces of gold in measured and indicated resources. It is a porphyry deposit whose value is fairly evenly split between gold and copper, with significant byproduct molybdenum and silver. Drilling in the core of the deposit has proved up a higher grade portion, including 2.5% copper equivalent over 65.8 meters. A preliminary economic assessment outlined annual production of 262,000 ounces of gold and 170 million pounds of copper per year over a 22-year life of mine. Construction of the access road, supported by the federal government, is ongoing, and we expect an updated feasibility study this year. This is a massive project where we hold a meaningful royalty that has got the wind at its back. Hermosa is another huge asset, this time in Arizona, where South 32 is making substantial progress. The recent pre-feasibility study on the Taylor portion of the deposit outlined a 4.3 million ton per year operation over an initial 22-year mine life. South 32 is a large, diversified miner who has described Taylor as being the first step in a mining camp development. We are keen to hear the results of the Clark deposit, which forms the potential next leg of development and is rich in manganese and may warrant a separate processing facility on site. Additional discoveries were made on the property last year, including the copper-rich Peak deposit. South 32 is pursuing critical path items including construction and installation of key infrastructure to support ore body dewatering, which is planned to commence this year at a cost of $55 million US. A feasibility study and construction decision are expected next year, and we look forward to seeing the buildup of infrastructure to support production. Also in Arizona, the ASX-listed Eagle Mountain Mining is refurbishing the historical underground workings at Oracle Ridge to facilitate drilling. This past-producing copper-silver-gold skarn mine has surprised with rapidly growing resources supported by thick mineralized intersections. The resource base is growing quickly with 7.5 million tons of indicated and 7.3 million tons of inferred at 1.5% copper, with significant gold and silver credits. This resource doesn't include some of the best intersections at the project, including 30.7 meters grading 2.54% copper, 22 grams per ton silver, and 0.42 grams per ton gold. 100 additional drill hole results expected over this summer support an updated resource estimate this year, and pre-feasibility study is expected in 2023. Osisko Metals has made significant progress on the past-producing Pine Point zinc-lead project in Northwest Territories of Canada. It is a classic example of Mississippi Valley-style mineralization and is very desirable for its scale and demonstrated clean zinc and lead concentrates. A preliminary economic assessment reported a 10-year mine life producing a combined 470 million pounds of zinc and lead per year. An updated PEA is expected to result in a lower cost structure and more robust project from infill drilling and hydrological testing. There are few zinc-lead projects that have scale, grade, existing infrastructure advantages that Pine Point enjoys. G Mining Ventures team are moving fast on the Tocantinzinho project since acquiring it in August of 2021. They released a revised feasibility study on the project this year, and they are expecting to announce a financing and construction decision soon. This open pit project has 2 million ounces of reserves and is expected to produce 175,000 ounces of gold per year over the 11-year life of mine. All key permits required for the start of the construction have been received, and the company has started detailed engineering work. G Mining is eager to drill test the deposit at depth with several historic intercepts that merit follow-up. A construction decision is expected in the second half of 2022, with potential for first gold production in the third quarter of 2024. Shanta Gold is another new partner for Osisko. We acquired a royalty on the West Kenya project in 2021. We are pleased to see them aggressively drilling to accelerate towards a feasibility study. The company is operating 2 mines in East Africa and is motivated to develop West Kenya. The project is located in the Lake Victoria Goldfield and comprises over 1,200 square kilometers of prospective ground. Shanta Gold published a scoping study in October 2020 that outlined a 9-year mine life producing approximately 105,000 ounces of gold per year. The project is high grade, with an average grade of 9.3 grams per ton, and infill drilling appears to be proving that up very nicely, with results that include 17.8 grams per ton gold over 3.9 meters at Isulu and 16.1 gram per ton gold over 3.2 meters at Bushiangala. Shanta is targeting 700,000 ounces of conversion to indicated resources this year. The high-grade underground project should be complemented with a few open pits, including the newly discovered Ramula target, comprising 6.5 million tons at 2.1 grams per ton. There is a solid project emerging at West Kenya, and they have only started to test the massive and prospective land package. Red River Resources is awaiting permits to start mining the Liontown polymetallic deposit that will be transported to the operating Thalanga mill in Australia. The VMS-style mineralization is close to surface, which enables a starter pit, followed by shallow underground mining. The company has commenced development activities at Liontown with the intention of commencing production this year, subject to pending permits, of course. Drilling continues to grow the deposits, including an oxide cap that is enriched in gold and silver. Red River has accelerated drilling on the property with results including 18.7 meters of 10.6% zinc equivalent. Osisko purchased the royalty in 2021 for 1.5 million Australian dollars, and it looks like we won't need to wait very long to see the returns on that investment. Also in Australia, Poseidon is looking to restart the nickel flotation mill to process the high-grade Silver Swan and Golden Swan deposits. This past producer has been aggressively drilling and finding new ore at depth and in a new horizon. The resources have increased by 75% this year, comprising 27 million pounds of nickel at an average grade of 9%. Metallurgical tests and drilling are ongoing to support a feasibility study this year to support a mine restart. Nickel sulfide deposits are becoming increasingly sought after to supply the growing battery market, and we are looking forward to seeing progress here. Osisko Gold continues to advance the WKP project that would share processing infrastructure with the operating Waihi mine 10 kilometers away. WKP is a rhyolite-hosted, low-sulfidation epithermal quartz vein system. Some stunning drill results released this year confirm continuity of very high-grade mineralization, including 39 grams per ton gold and 73 grams per ton silver over 10 meters. This supported an indicated resource of 1 million tons at 13.4 grams per ton gold. 17 kilometers of drilling are planned this year to feed into a pre-feasibility expected in 2023. The processing infrastructure at Waihi is oversized due to the past open pit mining. Thus, the incremental tons of the high-grade WKP mineralization have an immediate impact. Oceana seems highly motivated to unlock that value. When we provided our inaugural 5-year outlook, the assets I walked through here were not factored into that time horizon, either because they are generally slated for the second half of the decade, or because we lacked enough visibility on their timelines. That bodes extremely well for Osisko, as we are hopeful that some of these assets or others in our portfolio can accelerate over the coming years to become a meaningful impact for shareholders, either in that time horizon or instead be our growth drivers for the remainder of that decade. These projects represent a subset of assets we are following closely that are accelerating towards economic studies and development. We are excited to see them progress and invite you to find more details on these and many more projects within our asset handbook. Thank you.